Well, Mikel, biggest, I guess, week of your career, few days of your career. You always said that you sleep well, but how do you think the nerves might be on Saturday night? Because on Sunday you could make a bit of history.
Yeah, it's one of the biggest weeks for sure for many of us, and certainly now is the most important moment. Really excited, can't wait for Sunday to be in front of us, and obviously very optimistic as well with the possible outcome.
You talked last week about the idea of visualisation and lifting the trophy and making sure your players were on board with that. Did you have to lift them a little bit on Wednesday morning after what had happened? Just sort of set them out again and say, this is possible.
Obviously, the hope is there, and it didn't happen. And now listen, we have to do our job, which is going to be tough because Everton in a really good moment. So we're gonna have to prove again that we can be better than the opponent and win the game. And then, we have to wish for the best. We have to wish for West Ham to have a really good day and help us to fulfill our dream. That's what we're hoping for.
I know David Moyes has been important for you in your playing career. I wondered if you had a little message from him or had a little chat to him on this week, because he can do you one big favour, can't he?
Yeah. No, I don't think I need to do that. But he's been instrumental and so important in my career, not only as a footballer but as a person as well. So he could help us to fulfill our dream and my personal dream as well, to win the Premier League. That would be unbelievable. I'll always be in my memory, that's for sure.
It's hard to predict what happens on Sunday as it unfolds, but knowing you've kind of got your scenarios, and I wondered what sort of messages or ways of dealing with that pressure on Sunday that you've spoken to your players about, because they're going to sense what's happening in the other game, aren't they?
Yes, but the only thing that we discuss is, we have to give ourselves the opportunity to live a beautiful day on Sunday, where the dream is still alive and is possible and is football. And once we are there, we just have to live the moment. And the moment is going to be to play like every single week, understanding that, for that dream to happen, we have to win. That's for sure very certain. And then we have to hope again for West Ham to help us to achieve that dream. But that part is on us, and is the only thing that we can focus on.
Just finally, for me, if it isn't to be on Sunday, what's the one thing that you're proudest of this season?
I can't think like this. I just think that we're going to win the game, and hopefully something beautiful is going to happen. Let's wait.
Thanks, Roger.
Hi, Mikel.
Hi.
You use words like you're really excited, you're optimistic. Do you sense that around your players as well, around the squad?
I do, and around the building. Jesus, we are in the last day of the season, playing for the Premier League. The Premier League trophy hasn't been yet at the Emirates Stadium, and that stadium was built almost 20 years ago. So that's a long, long time. So yes, we have to be very optimistic. The trophy is going to be there, and it's possible. And we have to do our duties, and then we have to wait and see what happens.
History is against you. I think this is the 10th time that the Premier League title will be decided on the final day, and on each of the previous 9 occasions, the team that was top has gone on to win the title as well. Are you sort of banking on the law of averages, says that some stage that's going to have to change? And
that's not going to change, you mean? It's a probability, no? The more something happens, more probably that something else can happen. Let's wish that that's the case.
And we've seen in the past Manchester City have been in this position. They've managed to get over the line, but they've wobbled, as we saw against Queen's Park Rangers, we saw it against Aston Villa. Does that show that this sort of occasion can get to a team, even like Manchester City?
It's really difficult to beat any opponent in the Premier League, and when something is at stake as well, obviously that task becomes more and more difficult, but that's not in our control, that's for sure.
I think after Manchester City got the win the other night against Spurs, a lot of people were talking about they've got one hand on the trophy and so on, almost talking as if the job was as good as done. Is that a little bit disrespectful to West Ham as well, as you say that in the Premier League you still got to go out and win these matches?
I don't know. We all know that that they were a little bit or a step closer. That's for sure, because it's one game less and they have to play at home. But they're gonna play a really really tough opponent. We have suffered this season over the last few seasons. Really tough to beat them, and again, I'm sure they're gonna be very at it, and hopefully they can help us to achieve our dream.
Of course, we know about your relationship with Pep. Has there been any communication between the two of you?
No.
Thank you very much.
Ian?
Hi Mikel, how are you?
I'm very good, thank you.
Last time this season. You've won championships alongside Pep at Manchester City. In your heart of hearts, do you think they will lose on Sunday?
I don't know, lose or draw. This is what we need, that's for sure.
But you know how, when they get on this roll of winning games and with the championship in their sight, they're almost impossible to stop.
Well, if I don't believe today, imagine how much I could believe in August then. Because then, from August, 38 games against Manchester City, what they've done in the last 12, 13 years as a club, what we have done in the last 20 years in the Premier League, we have zero chance then. We cannot start like this. We have to believe, for sure.
Is it ironic that two of the clubs in this country that mean so much to you are involved, or two people, David Moyes and Everton, are involved in you getting your dream on Sunday?
But that's the beauty of this industry, that you come across with people that you had experience in your life, that they've been super important for you personally, and now, you need something from them. So hopefully it will happen.
And if it doesn't, I mean, obviously you hope it does, and you have to stay positive. Has this season still been a success? I mean, to get 89 points is still incredible.
Yeah, but we are here to win, and that's my aim, and that's the only thing I'm thinking of.
And if I can just take your mind off the title race for 1 second, VAR, there's going to be a vote next month from clubs about whether VAR should be abolished or not. I mean, You've had your run-ins a little bit this season with VAR, shall we say. What is your anticipation of how that might go? What would you personally like to see, or do you not think we can ever get rid of VAR now we've got it?
I haven't been part of those meetings, so I want to have a meeting with the club next week and understand where these points are coming across, what happened in the last few weeks to get to this position, and then we will decide what our position is as a club and see what happens.
You'd like to put your point across to the club before they go and vote?
Well, first of all, I want to understand, because I haven't been part of those meetings, so they will explain us what happens, what the points that they've been discussed, the reasons why, and what's the general feeling as well. And from there, we'll make our own decision.
Good luck on Sunday.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, James.
Hi, Mikel.
Hi.
There were a lot of talk on Tuesday about whether the Tottenham fans wanted their team to actually beat City because of what the implication would be with Arsenal. But from what you saw, do you have any complaints about the Tottenham players and their application?
No. And I will never. You can never complain about the opponent. I can complain about what we haven't done to have 91 or 93 or 95 points. That's the only thing that we can do.
And in terms of Sunday, will you have someone monitoring the City score, or will you try and ignore it? How do you sort of approach that?
Yeah, I think 60,000 people, plus all the staff, plus the assistant coaches, plus all the families behind their phones. So I think it's enough.
How do you sort of prepare the players then mentally for that? Because, as you say, the atmosphere is going to be quite strange.
It will be different. I lived it as a player a few times, and you just have to focus on what you have to do. You would understand for certain reactions what is happening, for sure, but stick focus in what we have to do.
And obviously, you're focused on Sunday, but given this is one of the last times we're going to see you, do you plan to sit down with the club to discuss your contract situation soon?
That's something that after the season, or whenever the right time is, we will talk and sit down.
Is it important though to get that done sort of fairly early rather than let it drag on into the summer?
Important is to win now and to keep believing that we can continue to win. That's the important thing.
Thanks, James. Simon?
Mikel, just on that, with how Sunday goes, success, win the league or not, would that change at all your feeling going into those talks about this club?
No, I think everything is relevant. I think whatever happened, it will be very emotional on the day, so probably it's not the right moment to make any conclusions on that. But afterwards, you have time to reflect. You have to go through the season, what we have done to come to the point that we have done, and try to understand the why. And then, we have to find the why and how we're going to do the next bit, and that's more important now.
Just ask you lastly, obviously the title race back end of last season, this season, has gone on with the City 115 charges not being resolved. Is there any frustration from your side that so much football has been played and we still don't really know where we stand with everything?
Yeah, but that's something for the authorities to manage. Is not for us. And if they are playing, means that they can play, and they are entitled to play. So that's it.
Art?
Hi, Mikel. It's been quite a long journey to get to this point, and I think whenever there's been, say, a disappointment like missing Champions League or not getting to the title last season, it's always been an improvement after that. So one phrase you mentioned last year that I found quite interesting was you said you wanted to recognise what went wrong but not accept it. So I was just wondering where that kind of thought process comes from with you when you're looking at wanting to improve.
Well, I need a few weeks to answer that question. I think in pre-season probably would be a better time to do that. But yeah, it's impossible to evolve, to be better, to understand why the good things that are happening are actually happening, who is involved, how we make those decisions, and yeah, try to understand continuously how we're gonna get better. And the ambition has to be there, and you have to feel it, and the right people have to be in the same mindset. Is really important to find that alignment first in understanding why it happened, and then and now this is how we're going to move forward.
And in terms of belief, when, I guess, did you feel it, not just from yourself, but from, I guess, everyone in the building, not just players, but staff as well, that being in a moment like this was possible?
I think it's something that happened gradually. I think you see the signs of, we have a lot of stability from ownership, from the board. Then you start to make very clear decisions strategically in relation to the squad, then to the staff. Then you see how people work every single day and how much they want it. And you start to believe, something special is happening here. And then you start to evolve the squad. You have to start bring players, and that's very contagious. You get excited because he's in the building. You have to get better. The other one gets better. And it's like a snowball, and it starts to get bigger and bigger and bigger. You start to perform, to win, and to realize that the gap is not that big and there is something there to achieve. On top of that, you have the people that we have supporting us every single day, home and away, with that belief, and that generates unbelievable energy for the club.
Was there a moment you could sense that kind of change? Or
it was probably last season, definitely. When you see yourself, especially in the first part of the season, when you take off and you are playing the way you're playing, that, we can reach that level. Now the question is, can we maintain it for 10 games, 20, 30, 38, for 2 seasons, for 3 seasons? Can we actually win it? That's something else that we have to prove that we can do.
Just on that, you mentioned the need to maintain it for 2 or 3 years, and you've been able to do it for 2 years against this Man City side, but some people are almost taking it for granted that Arsenal will be at the top next year, but obviously it's a very young squad. Are you confident that this team can keep challenging and keep going to titles over the next few seasons?
Yeah, I think that assessment has to be done after this season, understand where we are, and then you have to look at the picture, put it, and say, I feel it. It's very important. If you go there and you have to still tweak things and move things or move people or players, whatever it is, you really need to have that feeling. And I think we all had the feeling from pre-season and bringing the players early, we have a chance here.
And how important is it this summer to go again? Obviously last season came second, went out, we got Declan Rice, big deal, you got all the business done early, as you said. How important is it to do something similar this summer and to try and sustain that, regardless of what happens on Sunday?
Yeah, that's the ideal scenario. Every club wants that. We want that as coaches, and for the players especially, you want that. And then for the team, for the environment, when you do that, something clicks, something starts to build there, and it's really important because it starts to give you momentum. But there are Euros this season and Copa America, so it might be a different summer.
Are you saying that to the board? Are you saying in these meetings that it is really important that we keep this level up, we sustain it, we don't rest on our laurels?
It's something that we all know. If we all be given the choice, it's clear what we all want to do. It's not the manager or the coach.